Hi, Instagram Live. It's Karen. How are you? I wanted to do a reading today with you. I wanted to do a reading out of Courage to Change and discuss it a little bit. Once again, I have not looked at this before I read it, so here we go. June 22nd. My sharing at early Al-Anon meetings went something like this. She makes me so mad, and I'm a nervous wreck because of him. Thank God for a sponsor who always brought the focus back to me and encouraged me to look at what my words really said. When I blame others for how I felt, I was giving them power over my feelings, power that rightly belonged to me. Nobody could make me feel anything without my consent. I had a lot of attitude changing to do. Today, by being aware of the words I use, I am learning to communicate more responsibly. I not only share in a more straightforward manner, but I also argue in a healthier way. There are better ways to express myself than to say, you did such and such to me. I can talk about myself and my feelings. I can explain the way I experienced something rather than telling the other person how he or she made me feel. I can talk about what I want. I am no longer a victim. Today's reminder. What do my words communicate? Do they express what I'm trying to say? Today I will listen more closely to what my words have to say. Well, this couldn't be a better topic for me today. I got very upset this morning. First thing, I have a few life tips for you. One, I love this. Mel Robbins said this, and this is great advice. When you wake up in the morning, you should put your phone in another room or in the closet or in the bathroom or somewhere away from you. You should never wake up, roll over, pick up your phone and look at it. Okay? If you do that, don't respond. You're not awake. You haven't had your coffee. You haven't prayed and asked for help, right? Not good. So, I like what this is saying about being a victim. I really like this one line. It says, focus on me. Look at what my words really say, right? Am I giving my power over to someone else? No one can make me feel anything without my consent. So, somebody upset me this morning, and I really had to look at that today. I did a video earlier where I really ranted about it. I have a very strong feelings about this, and I don't think that's wrong that I have strong feelings about it, but I think it's wrong that I got into an argument with them on Instagram in my comments, but I felt really, I'll tell you what happened is I do pretty well on a daily basis, right? So I'm going along and everything's pretty good. We got coronavirus going, right? We got a revolution happening around the world, a pandemic around the world. I have had health changes, right? And I have been doing pretty good. And then one little thing will happen. And it just pushed me right over the edge, right? And the one little thing that happened was injustice. You know what I mean? It feels like so many people need help, and so many people need an answer, right? And so I'm trying to put information out there, and someone's coming back at me, right, with whatever their opinion. Which I usually would totally respect that. That's fine with me. Everyone has their own opinion. But I didn't react well. I mean, do I believe what I said on that vlog? Absolutely. Did I need to get that mad about it? Probably not. I get very impassioned. I get wound up. I really stand behind stuff. You know what I mean? I'll go overboard for principle. Do you know what I mean? And all it does is disturb me. I don't think it changes the other person's mind at all. I don't think this other person that I got into it with sees my point of view. Yeah, impulsive responses. That's right. I didn't convince them of anything, right? They didn't understand where I was coming from. I'm sure they didn't. They feel, I have a very strong feelings. If you watch that video, I have very strong feelings about people, making people not feel welcome in any program because people need such help. They're desperate for help, and I think we shouldn't be turning anyone away. So I have strong feelings about it, but I really let this person decide how I felt. You know what I mean? I really let them decide how I felt. Like I said, I'm not as worried about the video because I think a lot of people needed to hear that. A lot of people don't understand what alcoholism even is. And there's old school, one person commented, was very true. There's not a lot of those kind of people left. There's not. I mean, AA has changed. NA has changed. I think we all realize that disease is what it is. But I think what was wrong for me, and I'll probably have to go back on and apologize, is that I got in a little written tiff with the person. I really did. And I think it's because I haven't been responding to a million of other things online that I just hurts my heart. You know what I mean? Political stuff, it's none of my business, right? It's none of my business. Can only take care of myself. This reading says it right here, that I thank God for a sponsor who always brought the focus back to me. What can I do? Right? I can't change the injustices of the world, but one person at a time I can help, right? I can try to bring the answer to one person at a time. I have the power to decide if I'm going to react poorly or not. I need to pause. Now, that little written feud happened just like I said. I had just woken up. I had taken my phone. Bad idea. Looked at my phone before my feet even hit the floor. I hadn't asked God for any help. I hadn't prayed, direct my thinking. I hadn't woken up and remembered, you're an alcoholic. You're codependent. You are out of control. Your thinking is all over the place, especially when you wake up. Get up, go to the bathroom, have a cup of coffee, ask God for some help, and then read this response, right? And then pray about it before you respond. I talk about it all the time, reacting and responding. Reacting for me is very bad because I have to go back and apologize, And I like what this is about. There are better ways to express myself. One of the things I have in my back pocket of dysfunction in my life is that my mother and my stepfather was very passive aggressive. And so I hate passive aggressive people. I hate when people get passive aggressive with me. Be direct. Tell me, right? Just ask me what you want to ask me. Tell me what you want to tell me. But passive aggressive bullshit just drives me crazy. I wrote a blog. One of the first blogs I wrote when I started this endeavor was about passive aggressiveness and my family growing up. And I'm around people like that, today, and it drives me crazy. I'm like, are you asking me to do something? Just say it, right? Just say it. Don't beat around the bush. And I think that's the problem with my codependency is I don't want to upset people. I don't want to come across wrong. So I don't, right? I'm kind of passive aggressive. I'm kind of quiet. I'm kind of a victim. And then something happens and I blow up and it goes completely sideways. I'm sure I'm not the only one that does that. And then I feel terrible. So I think what this reading is suggesting, I can explain myself without saying that you made me feel that way. What you did was that. I mean, I remember when I first did my amends and I said, well, this person, I'm sorry I did this and this and this, but, and the woman that was taking me through the steps said, no buts. There's no buts. If your apology or your amends has but in it, then you just negated the whole thing. You're either sorry or you're not. I'm sorry, but I thought, no, you're sorry, period. And it's that kind of little stuff that I didn't even know I was doing. Didn't even know I was doing it. So I like the reading today. I like that it's talking about that. I'm like that I don't have to be a victim. I'm not mad because of someone else. The other person, too, by the way, that I argued with this morning was very kind. I mean, they just said their piece. They just said it. They didn't get ugly. They didn't get mean. And I'm glad it. You know what it did? It gave me that piece to vlog about, because I think a lot of people need to hear that. A lot of people need to hear that, especially these days. I mean, things are so volatile in the world right now. Mental health is on the edge, tipping point. We need to be kinder to people. We need to be inclusive, not exclusive. We need to take responsibility for our own feelings, not cast blame onto others, right? We are all adults, so we need to kind of act that way. Put on our big boy pants and act that way. And ask for what we need and what we want. Not pout. I'm a big pouter too. So I've got to ask God for help with that stuff. If I could do it on my own, I certainly would. I wouldn't need Al-Anon or Nar-Anon. So I'm glad you're all here. I love you all. Have a fantastic day. Be direct. Okay? Don't be a victim. Love you. Bye.